I want the S4. I don't care what it has, I just want it. Hello, and welcome to Android Weekly. This is RICKY, the Android guy. And you want news? Well, I got it for you. So let's go through the top 5 news of the week. So first thing, Samsung doesn't look like it's going to wait for Google, building its own Ticket Hub wallet. So Samsung Wallet, as it's being called, just briefly, kind of looks like an app, for the most part, looking one to similar called Lemon on Android, which is also reminiscent of iOS's Ticket Passbook. There you go. And it's more like that really than what Google Wallet looks like. It's really, and what Google Now has, it's really just a very basic looking one that kind of has all of your stubs. So it looks more for like a ticket kind of check-in than really like managing like your credit cards. So it really looks like Samsung Wallet will be more geared towards, movie tickets, airplane boarding passes, and things like of that nature. Now, supposedly, when it launches, it will be supported by Walgreens, MLB, Expedia, BookingNow.com, Hotels.com, and some other airlines. But we'll see. I think it's always interesting to have options, but eventually you kind of want just one to rule them all kind of thing. Pun intended. So yes. In terms of awards, so who won the Global Mobile Awards for 2013? So for the second year in a row, Samsung won the best smartphone and best cell phone manufacturer. So the best smartphone, as you can guess, was the Galaxy S3, and it's the best cell phone manufacturer, of course, it was Samsung too. Now these awards definitely usually go to game changers, ones that really stood out amongst the crowd, and Samsung really did that. Last year they won with the S2, and they were the best cell phone manufacturer as well for the year before. And 2 years ago it was iPhone, it was iPhone 4, 4. It was the iPhone 4 and HTC for Best Manufacturer. So Samsung was the first one to claim the title of both, and now they've done it twice, 2 years in a row. So, and I really see this, if you think about it, before the S3, Android had always been Apple as a whole, but never was one device. The S3 changed all that. It outsold iPhone by itself without needing anything else. So it really stood the test of time, and even with all the new Android phones that come out, the S3 is still the top selling out of all of them. So you really have to give it credit to the S3 after being more than a year old, still really going to be good. And if the S4 comes out, you have to imagine the S3 will drop in price, I would assume. So really it's just going to come down to being a great mid-range phone then, which, as the S3 is still high-end to me, so mid-range, considering that price, would be great. Other notable winners was for tablets. Won the award was Nexus 7. Again, this won the best mobile tablet of the year. Again, just because I think it was the biggest game changer. Nexus 7 was such a well-priced and well-developed device that you have to believe that this was one of the main reasons why Apple iPad Mini came out. Apple had never lowered themselves to the level of an inexpensive device because they're supposed to be high-end, and whether it be Tim Cook's bad managing of the company or just pressure from Android, Apple's changing their tactics, and Nexus 7 really is one of the main things that caused that. Polaroid is building a Instagram camera. So I thought this was kind of interesting. It's really basically an Instagram. It prints out your Instagram photos, and it's only a concept device right now, but it was a concept one for 2012. It looks pretty cool, but we have no idea what the actual device will look like. It could be coming out as late at the end of this year or at the beginning of next year. So it's not as soon as I would say that it would be. Instagram is still very hot right now. Who knows if something will replace it in a year? I mean, with social media, things do change every couple of years. So, but it looks really nice, and we don't know what it'll have. It looks like it has an SD card slot on the concept, a headphone jack, a really nice looking camera part, and I'm not sure if it's a flash. But yeah, it looks really nice, and it looks like it's a really well designed device. Now we just hope the function will be as good. And in another article, two different colors coming from Samsung. One for their S3, and this was a leaked photo of it looked like an internal sprint photo taken from like a computer, and it shows the Samsung Galaxy S3 in purple as of 4/12/2013. So we don't know if this is really it, but it's really interesting. If they come out with a purple one, this will be the not only carrier, but this will be the first time we see an S3 color launch in the U.S. All other S3 colors launched overseas and then came to the U.S. However, this would be the only purple S3 there is. There's no purple S3 overseas. And the other color that leaked was a charcoal black Samsung Galaxy Note 8-inch. So the 8.0 Galaxy Note was shown at MWC, but it was only shown in white. Now we're seeing an 8-inch version of it, but this 8-inch is also matte as opposed to glossy white. So pretty interesting. I really like the black, although I don't know. I might just get a white device just because I kind of feel left out at this point. I'm not sure, but we'll see. And for the last article of the night, Apple shares hit a 52-week low as Google's hit an all-time high. And this is really just more and more common. I feel really bad for Apple, to be honest. I mean, the company has fallen so much compared to what they once were, and it really is it's only getting worse for them. They have not had, a huge spike, and I just don't see them having a huge spike anytime soon. They just keep dropping in everything and all of their endeavors. Google is now at about 815 at one point this morning, and Apple dropped all the way down to 420. Keep in mind, both companies hit 700 in October, and Google obviously kept going up, as where Apple has gone extremely down, going $300 less in just about 4 months now. But it took them only 3 months to drop $300 down. There is just nothing really going for Apple at this point, to be honest. They have kind of done this only to themselves. They made prepaid devices for a brand that's supposed to be high-end, so they destroyed their own high-end branding and their own image, and it's just it's really going bad for them. I don't unless this June their phone saves them, or this July, whenever supposedly it would be coming out, unless it saves them, they're going down. And I mean, I know a lot of people out there think that Apple can't fail. I mean, yes, they might have more money compared to this company, but we thought the same thing about BlackBerry years ago. They were the smartphone company that was way too big. They just would never fail. Apple can buy a lot of things, absolutely, to try to save themselves. But the point is that, they don't manufacture anything. They don't do any of that stuff. If they were to invest in those kind of things, then they would be more closer to the amount of money that companies like Samsung and other companies have. They don't manufacture anything, and that's why they have so much excess money. It's because they don't really invest in it like other companies do. So, I don't know. I see Apple kind of fading away at this point, and I guarantee you they're going to go below 400 when the S4 is announced from Samsung. So we'll see. We'll see if my predictions are correct and see what news comes next. The S4 will be announced shortly, and all kinds of fun will be begun. All right, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this weekly news. Let me know if you have any questions. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.